Is this thing on? Hope it's on. Alright, let's check Discord, see if there's any response. What's going on here? Oh, okay. Okay, so people were just fucking weird. People are weird. Okay. All right. Oh. So apparently Code Vein is getting censored. Okay. I mean, that's usual. I wouldn't make a fuss over that though, if it's not too big of a deal. If it's pervy stuff, I don't care. I just don't. Looks like my Twitch chat's not working. That's because it's on the wrong thing here. The blood being gold, is that a problem? Really? So are they making fuss over the blood? I mean, it's an anime game. I guess people can be mad at that. I don't know. Seems kind of dumb to be mad about. They're pulling a China. They could be. I don't know. Game is likely sold in China. We do have some news other than that though. For one thing, we have a video on HIGHGUARD. This is a different approach on how they're looking at HIGHGUARD though. Kind of like the engagement around it. We also have an update, I guess, from what seems to be the most subscribed guy for Roblox. Literally putting out a video saying he gives up on Roblox. So that I find that interesting. And then last we have AI Slop Gaming got me worried. So we got that before we get into the major games today. One of the games I want to get into is called Godbreakers. I think people know about it. I'm just going to spread it around. But I wanted to see about the whole HIGHGUARD thing. This one's from Second Wind. If people don't know who Second Wind are, they used to be part of another, like I guess it was a YouTube channel. I'm not really too sure. But these people are like from The Escapist. Like you remember Zero Punctuation? That's where these people were coming from. They made a second channel called Second Wind, and they got a lot of support because of what The Escapist. I don't know if The Escapist really shut down or anything like that, but I don't know what happened to The Escapist. I don't know if they're shut down or they got bought out or they moved on, but The Escapist, these people were from The Escapist, and they just, I guess you could say they left. Was a magazine until the traffic died down. Was a magazine. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, but Yanni and everybody, the guy from Zero Punctuation, who was kind of like the biggest name in The Escapist, at least on YouTube. He was he went to Second Wind and started up his whole thing there, and I like really support and back them up. They've done and said some stupid stuff over time, but you know how this landscape is right now. Anyway, they have a video called HIGHGUARD highlights the problem with engagement bait. I want to see that for a second. Forgot about the camera, but Pay attention.
Towards the end of 2025's Game Awards, Jeff Keighley came out on stage to tease the show's final reveal. A game that he was personally very excited about and honored to showcase. He described it as a game that would push the genre forward, created by the former leads of Apex Legends and Titanfall. All sounds good so far. Well,
into lands uncharted and dangers untold.
It is the most movie quality trailer.
And ride without rest.
the trailer showcasing what appeared to be yet another fantasy hero shooter dubbed HIGHGUARD. The reveal was met with a resounding thud across the industry. And to be clear, we ourselves had a similar meh response when the game was revealed.
That's my birthday!
Hey, HBD!
I think it's absolutely fair to say that Keighley clearly misjudged the type of reaction this game would generate, and closing out a great show with it, well, read the room, man. HIGHGUARD was due to be released on January 26, 2026 as a free-to-play game, and people had already decided it would be dead on arrival.
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, the reception in the room wasn't even it wasn't even high energy for that. I think a lot more people were confused in the Game Awards, trying to figure out like what is this trailer? Trying to figure out like what's going on. Slightly low volume. Is it? Here, I'll turn it up. I try not to destroy people's ears, but the hype for the game, like he tried to hype the game so much by putting it as the last trailer, and I can't really blame I can blame Jeff, honestly, but I don't think I can blame him entirely, because honestly, he is the quintessential modern gamer. He is the quintessential modern gamer. In fact, I put out a video which should have gone out in like 12 minutes ago. And you know, we could watch that too, but I talk about how Jeff is the audience for HIGHGUARD. That's why he loved it so much. He loves it.
Who can blame them?
He really
We've seen
does.
so many similar looking projects come and go at this point. It's fair to ask why developers keep trying to make these types of games. In an interview with the press at the recent preview event, Dusty Welch, CEO and co-founder of Wildlight Entertainment, gave a bit of an answer for that, saying,
But ultimately, when you look, kind of top down, 30,000 foot view in the shooter space, I mean, shooters are still the rocket fuel that is propelling the games business, both.
Oh, yeah.
What's funny about this statement? You know, I'm gonna let him say the whole entire thing, but listen to what he says.
MAU, monthly active users, in playtime and in revenue. The CAGRs are really positive and strong and continuing to grow. 5 of the top 10 games on PC are shooters by MAU, and so we can go on and on with stats.
Oh, yeah.
But still, there's an undercurrent of sentiment and some disregard.
Okay, so in all honesty, the top games right now, I mean the top games, if you think about what are the top games right now, I mean we can search, you know. What are the top games today? So, and he's right, because when you look at the statistics, the Fortnites, the Valorants, the Counter-Strike 2s, I didn't even know Counter-Strike 2. Wow, okay, that snuck up upon me, actually, because I didn't... Counter-Strike 2. Okay, Counter-Strike 2. I remember that coming out a while ago. And Baldur's Gate, Elden Ring, those are not shooters, but when you look at Cyberpunk, that's a shooter. And then he's looking at, like, the Battlefield 6s, but, like, the actual games that everybody's playing... Minecraft, Fortnite, Roblox, Counter-Strike, Valorant, Counter-Strike, I said that already, but a good chunk of that are shooters. I think the statistics, he was going by statistics on whether or not like something is popular, but I don't think he gets from a gaming sense what actually is popular. Like, no matter how you look at it, Fortnite is probably going to be the most popular BR. right? Valorant and Counter-Strike 2 are like neck and neck. If not, Valorant is the most popular, I guess you could say, tactic shooter, right? The ultrasound box outside will destroy my ears long before these vids will. Monthly active user chasing. Well, they are trend chasers, and they're businessmen who chases the trends. There's the reason why they're all Apex Legends developers, and they come from Apex Legends. If you think about that for a second, Apex Legends came out from people who were trying to make Titanfall 3. They saw that BR was battle royales were very popular, so they switched it up because they were chasing a trend. I go over this in my own video, but let's hear what this guy has to say, because he's honestly talking about engagement baiting. And you guys, I'll show my video in due time, but you could tell me if I'm engagement baiting. You could tell me.
After the botch reveal, HIGHGUARD went quiet. In the weeks leading up to launch, I was seeing daily articles and videos asking why the game wasn't being marketed more.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I think this is as like loud as I want it to be. Tell me if you guys can hear the video. If not, I'll see what I'm doing here.
This is where I really started to notice a pattern with content creators, social media pundits, and even the traditional games media almost
Or
seemingly
is a
rooting for the game
mistake.
to
It's
fail.
just more brain rot, but it
Before
is
the game
it
was
is a
even
top
out,
game.
People across all mediums were making a staggering amount of videos, posts, and shorts about how the game was dead on arrival.
You also got to take his sentiment when what he was talking about in terms of shooters, saying it's the one that's selling, it's the one that's at the top. People everywhere are playing shooters. He's looking at statistics, but he's not really looking at why people are playing these games. Why are people playing Marvel Rivals or Overwatch? Why people are playing Battlefield 6 or Fortnite? He's not looking at the reason why people are playing. He's looking at the statistics, which... Do you think anybody over in From Software is looking at statistics when they make their games? No. So... Yeah, you gotta think really outside of that.
Comments attacking the developers themselves. Really any negative thing people could come up with about the game, alongside the usual whining about diversity or whatever other nonsense
It's not
people
too
come up
loud.
with to be mad about these days. In my mind, the developers had no choice but to go quiet, regardless of what they say their plans actually were.
Yeah,
Any
they
amount of
should have
movement
gone.
wildlight entertainment would make
I
would
mean,
be
going
heavily
quiet. I
scrutinized,
guess they
and
had no
further
choice.
explaining of what they were making would be mocked.
But
anything even
they kind of took the wrong turn just to release the game. I really think they should have put it out in beta.
remotely perceived to be defensive about the game would be used to fuel the narrative that had been created. Unfortunately, the creator economy has really been overtaken by reaction content. People react.
Wait a
Unfortunately,
minute. Do you guys think this is a bit too much? Okay, so first of all, leave Doki Bird out of this. By the way, this is Blue Sky. I don't use Blue Sky. Leave Doki Bird out of this. She didn't make a formal video about it. Some people clipped her stream saying that. So you can't, no, don't do that. And I don't know if it was even her clip channel. I don't think it was. Now, everybody else saying like, we lost, this crap must end, the insane truth. He's trying to point out the engagement baiting here.
the creator economy has really been overtaken by reaction content. People reacting to that reaction content, and then reacting to the reaction of that reaction. It's a never-ending cycle of people judging things before they even have anything to really judge, whether it's positive or negative. People were more interested in the drama than the game, and really, the only option the developers had at that point was to release the game and let it speak for itself. Drama sells, and when it catches on in creator spaces, everyone looks to cash in on it as much as they can. This type of content has always been around, but I think it's become much more prevalent following the monetization of places like X, algorithms focusing more and more on what drives engagement over promoting actual thoughtful pieces of work, and of course the continuing decrease of any sort of moderation on platforms as more and more of that work is delegated to AI. HIGHGUARD highlighted a trend that has become more and more prevalent with game reveals as of late though. Content creators and journalists across the board seem to be frothing at the mouth for games to fail or to prove those that want it to fail wrong. Hyper-focusing on player counts, user reviews, sales numbers. Anything but talking about the merits of the actual games. You even have people faking that they were at preview events for the game to try to literally cash in on the engagement. It's pathetic.
Yeah, that was kind of that one.
Faking.
Last week we took the Lambo to LA to check out HIGHGUARD, and apparently
That they were at preview events for the game to try to literally
creator Mark Macro and HIGHGUARD's creator manager said that Dr. Disrespect was not invited to the HIGHGUARD event and that the badge being shown is fake. Yeah, that was... Oh, how heroes have been brought down to their lowest standards. Damn. Like, you would think Dr. Disrespect would try to be more respectful after the shit that he's been through. People are more into the drama than the game. That says more about the game than the people talking about it. If people are more into the drama than the game, that says more about the game than the people talking about it. I don't know. It's almost 50-50 here because, like, if you're only talking about the drama about the game and the game itself, like, if I'm trying to add all that up, because the game came out with, like, a whimper because of Jeff Keighley. I kind of blame Jeff for all of this. Like, Jeff hyped this up because he liked the game. And then if you look at the people who were, like, really ramping and kind of grinding their knife and stabbing the game in the back here, like, I don't know if they wanted the game to fail. I'm not really too sure. But there was a lot of people coming out saying it will fail, it is bad, or something like that, or it's going to be bad, or something like that. So, I don't know. Just from, like, the looks of the game. I didn't even say anything about the game until I played it, so...
literally cash in on the engagement. It's pathetic, really. Media and content creators have an incentive for high-profile games to have drama attached to them because they make money off the engagement. Most of the videos I watched while writing this piece didn't even feature the content creators playing the game on screen, just providing their thoughts and reactions to everyone else's reactions to the game.
He's not wrong about that.
On their own Twitter drama they created.
He's not wrong.
Thousands of negative user reviews ported for HIGHGUARD less than an hour after launch, which is curious because A, the tutorial is like 20 minutes long, B, the servers weren't working very well at launch because of the influx of people coming in, so people were stuck in login queues, and C, most matches I have played take at least 20 minutes or longer if the teams are balanced. Once a game is out, the big story focus I tend to see is player count, and not if the game is actually any good or not. HIGHGUARD hit 100,000 concurrent players on Steam on its day of release and then quickly dropped as the servers were overloaded and negative reviews came pouring in, and it has since stabilized around 10,000 plus. The story has now shifted to how the game is a massive failure out of the gate for losing 90% of its player base in the first week. Player base the game never had in the first place because it just came out and was free for anyone to try, which always overinflates numbers for these games at launch. I've covered this topic before in more depth, but most multiplayer games don't have massive player bases and don't need them to be successful. That has always been the case, but the hyper-focus on player counts by press and content creators has made people believe a game needs tens or even hundreds of thousands of active players at any given moment to be a success. Just ask the developers of Insurgency, Hell Let Loose, or Squad.
This one's kind of a confusing point. So I watched this video up to this point, and I kind of paused here. You need people to play your games in multiplayer games, even if it's like really low count. You need people, and I'm not saying that the people have to play the game at every waking moment, like he said, but if you're playing a multiplayer game of live service, no, you need a population. All the games that he put out in terms of an example were games where you have to buy in, right? All the games that he put out as an example are buy into multiplayer games. They're not live service games. It's different for a live service game. Live service games need people. They need a population at almost every active moment. so I'm just saying, if you have a live service game with only like 100 people playing the game, that live service game is not going to succeed. It's going to fail. If that live service game doesn't have people paying out goopo dollars, it's going to fail because it's a live service game and it needs people to spend money in that game. So you do need a population. You do need a high player count for a live service game. The caveat here is that HIGHGUARD is a live service game, and the example that he was showing were games that you spent money to get the game and then you get to play whenever you want. There's a big difference there. I don't know if he addresses this after this because I kind of stopped at this point because I was thinking, like, is he right about that? I think that only works when you buy the game first and then you get into the multiplayer. He's kind of removing player agency in his argument. If you load up and have any friction on a free game, most leave. It really isn't as deep as the video makes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just for this example here, and I know he's going to say that HIGHGUARD is not trying to get a lot of people playing the game. And it's only true if there are people paying a lot to play your free game.
Wildlight Entertainment
Here,
addressed
he's
this
gonna say
exact point with the press when they were interviewed during the recent press junket for the
We don't need player counts to be super huge in order to be successful. HIGHGUARD devs respond to the poster declaring it's dead on arrival. It's not dead on arrival. I don't believe that. I don't believe it's Concord 2. Even though people kept saying it. I find that funny. I just think that if you're going to put out a live service game, you will, of course, going to need a player account. A super huge player count, I don't know what they mean by super huge. I don't know what super huge is for them. I think super huge is over 100K, or at the very least, over 50,000K. But over 50K, sure. Sorry. Excuse me. But you're a live service game. You're going to need a population. You're going to need people to play, and you're going to need people to pay. So it's a better percentage. I would say you will have better success for more people playing rather than the small amount of people, because you're waiting for like a whale to jump in and start throwing cash at you. You want people playing, because if they start spending like $2, $5, $10 a week on you, then you got steady growth in terms of what you're doing with a live service game. You have a little bit of something in terms of income. That's why you want more people to come in, because the more people there are, and the higher percentage, or the higher the likelihood somebody's going to pay money for your free game. That's kind of the math here. So, and I'm just trying to figure out whether or not that's what he's saying or not. You don't need a player count to be super huge in order to be successful. Your live service game, newsflash, numbnuts, you do need a big player account for that. I'm trying to figure out whether or not that's what he's actually saying, or what the point he is bringing that up, but I'm sure he'll say something. I want to give him more credit than what it is here.
The game, saying, "Honestly, we don't need player counts to be super huge in order to be successful," said lead designer Mohammed Alvi. "We're a small team. A 6-player match, HIGHGUARD's max player count at launch, is not hard to find. What we're really hoping for is a core group of fans that love us. That will allow us to grow. Being the ire of the internet, Hate Machine sucks, but at the same time, I try to just focus on making the best game I can and getting that game into people's hands. At the end of the day, that's all that really matters."
Okay, I have to give it to the lead designer then. I will give it to him. If he's only focusing on making the game better, that's good. But it's a huge hurdle he has to climb over, because the game already, like, when people got their hands on it, it didn't feel great. So that's going to be a huge hurdle for him. He's a small team, I think a small team of 60. So it's 60 people. You still need income. you still need income. Unless you already have the income for your people to keep making the game, you still need income. I'm just saying, if you're making a live service game, your core fans shouldn't be small. You want something as like core fans that are big and are playing and paying for your game, you know? A 6-player match is not hard to find. Well, I think they're going to fix that. They had server issues, which is the reason why people were having a hard time trying to find matches. So they're trying to fix that. Once that's fixed, I'm sure people will start talking nice a little bit. But the overall issue for me is the game itself, the way they designed it. That's my issue, and no doubt that's a lot of people's other issues. So that's their hurdle.
This culture of instant reaction engagement bait from all corners just feels increasingly disingenuous and cyclical.
He's
Whether
not
it's from
wrong
people
about that, to
wanting
be
a game
honest.
To fail, or people defending a game from those that want it
Ruining
to
mining
fail.
and making
Reaction
6v6,
videos and
it would be
articles are
fine.
just responding to one another in circles with very
6v6.
little feedback about the game itself. If there is feedback, it's not
5v5,
their own
6v6,
feedback, just what
yeah.
they've read from people who are actually
I
playing.
don't know why the mining is in there. I think they just want the currency. So it's like they okay. After this, we can watch the video that I put out and see if you guys agree to it.
In the game. This is the routine of most big game releases these days because it's an easily repeatable formula for people who put the least amount of effort into their work and are rewarded for it continually.
That's not entirely. There are people who will put a whole bunch of, like HIGHGUARD, people put work into this game, obviously. But even though you put all this hours of work, all these years of work, you may have made something that looks immaculate. Once somebody gets their hands on it, it's over if they say it sucks. It's over. You may love it because you worked hard on it, but the problem is other people will get their hand. It's a product for other people. So if they say it sucks, your hard work means nothing. It doesn't. And no amount of crying on Twitter and Blue Sky saying we worked hard on this game, why don't you guys at least let us celebrate and ... It doesn't matter. If what you put out there sucks, people are going to say it sucks. So
there's no obvious solution to this problem. People are free to make what they want, and people are free to choose what they want to watch.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
he actually makes that point.
For games criticism continues to make the industry a more and more hostile place. And since it's so easy to monetize it, more and more people are continuing to join in.
Imagine one day when your kid comes back with like Mona Lisa style artistry, and you're like, what? Why are you still in school? Why aren't you making like a freaking going to Italy, showing off your art in museums, getting rich off that stuff, working for TV programs?
And not making this type of garbage and flooding the zone with it, leading to an endless cycle of looking for or trying to fabricate the next big controversy.
Hey, what's up, Argus?
It's not enough to just play and criticize the game. A lot of this content actively wants you to hate the game and the people who made it. Games criticism doesn't have to devolve to blindly defending or hating something. You can just provide your thoughts and criticisms like a normal person who plays games.
What he's bringing up is kind of a point. He's making a good point because HIGHGUARD is also an example of people coming out and just outright hating the game and not really trying to criticize the game. There are a lot of people who are just hating the game and not criticizing it or giving like, hey, you could do this or you could do that or you can put this in or add this or take this out and all that other stuff. Not a lot of people are doing that when they put out their videos. That's just plain out saying, oh, it's shit, don't play it. And I'm not like that. I don't want to say like, oh, it's shit, don't play it. I'm going to say, well, here's what it is. Here's my objective view of it. Are you going to play it? I will ask you if you're going to play it.
Like I will do right now. Having played about a dozen matches of HIGHGUARD now, I can confidently say, it's fine. It's generic, it's a bit bare bones, and the fact there's so much controversy around this game, of all games, makes it obvious how much of what's being said about it is just engagement bait. HIGHGUARD is not going.
It is engagement bait, but there's a reason for that. Even if it was a good game, people will talk about it. If it was a really horrible game, people will talk about it. Any game that comes out and had as much spotlight put on it from Jeff Keighley, then yeah, people will talk about it. Because of Jeff, I think this game got kind of screwed.
Going to be my next game I play every night like Rematch, but the core gameplay is solid, and in general, I like the concept of what they're going for. I tend to enjoy multiplayer games with multiple objectives that lead to a climatic endgame moment. However,
that's fine.
I do have a few key issues with HIGHGUARD. The core concept is destroying the base of the opposing team, but getting there isn't much of a challenge. The maps are very large, and while I understand the loop now and how important gathering resources is to stay in the fight at the later stages of the match, when you need to replenish armor, repair walls, or change up your weapon strategy, breaking apart gemstones isn't all that interesting.
Nope.
The game needs to liven up its maps by adding some environmental hazards or AI enemies to fight to actually have a reason for all that space.
Yep.
And make the resource grind more of an interesting time management exercise.
I think the resources should come from like mobs, big bosses out in the field that you can shoot and take down, beat up. Maybe you can get some drops and loot from them just as well. But I do think, like, you know, if you're going after smaller mobs or maybe some sort of animals or something like that, smaller enemies, non-player characters out there, yeah, I think that's where your resources and your currency should come from, is from them, not mining. And the reason why they put mining in there is because they liked the survival aspect of some games, so they just put it in there. Like, that was the reason. Sorry, excuse me. The reason for putting it in there is because they like the survivor aspect of some of these games out there that has mining in it, like Hightail or Valheim. That's why they put it in there. I mean, even Monster Hunter has something like this, but for Monster Hunter, at the very least, it's like you do the mining, it takes 1 2 1 2 1 2, right? And then you got your stuff and you move on. Right, and it's not, you don't need to continuously mine stuff. It's a choice. You can pass that ore whenever you want in Monster Hunter. You don't need to get it. You want to get it if you want to get that armor, but you don't need to get it because you can just go after the monster or take the resources from that, you know?
That's where the tough decision making and adrenaline start to build. Go for the better loot in more risky areas, or go for the resources to prepare for the siege to come. I have similar criticisms for the actual rating of the bases as well. It should feel like a climatic end-of-round battle to take over the base. And as it stands with just 6 players on the map, there's a missing element of chaos that should come with a raid on a fort.
Yeah.
As of right now, you get the shield breaker, you deliver it to the wall, and then you wait a few moments for your siege tower to open up a section of the shield defending the base. Unless players from the opposing team are outside of the base when this is going on, you're just standing around, waiting for it to finish. That's a moment when the attacking team should be having to defend their siege tower, while the defending team is using the resources they collected to build up some last-second defenses, or slow that tower down before it can break through the shield.
That's a good idea.
There's just too much downtime in between the moments of action on HIGHGUARD right now, which feels at odds with the game's premise. All the ingredients are there that should make these matches feel like epic battles of attrition and smart decision-making. There's a good foundation here, and I think if Wildlight Entertainment took inspiration from something like Chivalry 2's Team Objective, or even For Honor's Breach mode, you'd have something a lot more players would connect with.
I think there needs to be a lot more to do while taking out the tedium of some of the things that are already in there. Like, you don't need mining. You need NPCs, monsters, champion monsters, or something like that. So it keeps the player engaged. And when you get when you're breaking the shield, I think the people that are in the bubble or in the dome should be able to find a way to disrupt it or slow it down, or disrupt it altogether, see if they can, if they have like a certain item. I think 3v3 is also too small for this kind of game as well. I agree. 3v3, I don't know why anybody... I once saw a review on Steam saying 3v3 is good because somebody can come back with a 1v3. That's not logical at all. Like, that's not likely to happen. You will get mowed down. You will get mowed down. But unless you're like a god among god gamers, you're going to get mowed down as like a normal casual person. And speaking of casual, this game is not for casuals. It just not. It's not. It's for competitive people, which is the modern gamer. So,
as of right now, it's a sweaty shooter in maps that are far too large. And I think the fun factor will be found more in the chaotic moments that HIGHGUARD does have the foundations to provide. It's got a solid roadmap in front of it as well, with updates coming every month, which should help keep people interested.
Not every month. Well, so it's January, so it's like February, March. So it's February, April. So I get, I wonder if they have an update in between each and every 2 months. So it's not every month they get an update. I know what the roadmap looks like.
What's here now, though, is really not worthy of the controversy that's surrounding it. It's just another game in a crowded games as a service market that will live or die based on Wildlight's ability to take feedback to heart, make the necessary changes, and draw new players in over time. The best thing the developers can do at this point is just put their heads back down, get to work, and ignore the noise.
No, true.
If they stay focused on building the core community of players like they set out to do, then I think the game will be fine. At the end of the day, it's just another game. Some people will like it, others won't, and a bunch of other people will make it their entire identity for the next month or so before moving on to the next thing.
True. That's true. I don't know why he did the comparison with games that you get to buy to live service games when he was talking about population. That one, I think he kind of he kind of maybe like misrepresented that there. But for me, I already posted a video. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, look at that. I cannot recommend Dread Mist. Nobody cares about Dread Mist. Anyway. Well, the video game that Jeff Keighley wanted us to play so much is finally out, and I'm gonna have to figure out why it does that. Well, the video game that Jeff Keighley wanted us to play so much is finally out, and, well, it's not looking so good.
I've played it, and after you see this trailer, I think you're going to want to as well.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
You know what's even worse than the fact that it has a mostly negative on Steam? Is the fact that it was made by Wildlight Entertainment Incorporated, which is an indie studio, which means my behind has to look at it. I should have changed my name somewhere along the way. It's crazy how at the end of the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley built this game up so much, thinking that we would all fall in love with this thing. Which is kind of funny because I always knew that Jeff Keighley's taste in video games was way different from the normal everyday person. But okay, yeah, sure, people start playing the game on the first day, it almost makes it to 100,000 concurrent players. And to be honest, I thought it was going to actually be a good game because, you know, I'm very pessimistic in certain ways, but I'm very hopeful in other ways. An indie studio made up by Apex Legends developers, yeah, I thought that would be a good idea. But lo and behold, that was actually a mistake because it was developed by Apex Legends developers. Now, I have nothing against anybody who plays Apex Legends. I don't have anything against the developers who created Apex Legends, but it is a sign. I'm just saying it's a sign. What I'm saying on that point is that Apex Legends is a modern video game that was really kind of following a trend for battle royales. It pretty much had everything coded into it to be that live service game where everybody should be getting hooked. It's a first-person shooter. You're out in the middle of a gigantic map trying to survive against other teams, or by yourself if you like to play solo. But Apex Legends was a modern game. It was a modern game made to be a modern game for modern audiences, which is not even a problem because if you like Apex Legends, then that's perfectly fine. I mean, it was developed to be somewhat something of a spiritual successor, or supposed to be a successor, to Titanfall, which in my opinion was a good FPS that I played, but I didn't get really too into. I didn't become a super mega fan, I just liked Titanfall. But if you know the story of Respawn Entertainment, who created Apex Legends, the reason why they didn't make a Titanfall 3 was because they were taking advantage of the popularization of battle royales. They also took advantage of heroes being in video games, i.e. Overwatch. Basically, they wanted to make an Overwatch/Fortnite video game. And you know what? I think the developers who created HIGHGUARD took what they learned from Respawn and Apex Legends and tried to insert that in this game. Which in hindsight, if you looked at the climate of video games, that wasn't a good idea. I'm just going to say this right now because I do not know if anybody else is saying this, but HIGHGUARD is the product of its time, meaning it is the most modern video game of video games I have ever seen. It takes elements from all over the FPS genre. I mean, if you look at some of the gameplay, you are reinforcing and breaking into other people's bases, which means that you have some of Rainbow Six Siege in here. You also have collecting currency for which you can buy and upgrade yourself with armor and other equipment, having rarity on top of that. So you got a little bit of MOBA and a little bit of Apex Legends on top of this. You also have different heroes that you can play, so they also have the hero aspect via Overwatch. I mean, if you take a step back and look at it, it feels like it's taking a lot from other modern FPSs and trying to take the best of what made them work and just shoving it into this game. Which, to be positive, would be good for a lot of people out there who are just modern video game players. I mean, if you look deep enough, and I mean real deep enough in the Steam reviews, you'll find positive reviews. People who are very acclimated to modern video games. And their reviews show as such, which is not a bad thing. And to add to the other games that it takes from, I do feel that there's a bit of Valorant that's encoded into this. Valorant being the modern CSGO for a lot of younger gamers. I've read reviews who like the 3v3 because there is a chance for somebody to make a comeback with a 1v3, which is not very likely if you're playing against good players who will just murder you, and Arc Raider shows that. But it is possible, and I'm going to let them have it. They also related this to Valorant and CSGO with the large map, kind of. I'm not really too sure how they're going to relate it to that. it has the Valorant coding within, the CSGO coding within, but the large map is, well, really large and kind of unnecessary for a 3v3, in my opinion. And honestly, I don't think HIGHGUARD needs all the hate. I think it just needs criticism, to be fair. They apparently have a roadmap down the line with different episodes. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Okay, so it is every month. They'll have new areas, new heroes, new weapons, and all that with each and every episode. But as you see, this is a live service game, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are tired of live service games. There are some reviews that say that the microtransactions and the loot box are not flaring up in their face like some sort of ad, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you're worried about a free game not showing ads and interrupting your gameplay, you're already seeped into how they want you to think.
We knew when we started we wanted to make a shooter, and we knew we wanted to make something that was live service.
How large is the
And
team?
so we've been
60
planning
people.
for that for a very long time. In fact, we already have a year's worth of post-launch content already deep in development.
There's a lot of live service fatigue right now, right? These games tend to hit you with a FOMO, which I think players have gotten wise to, for good reason.
A free-to-play game that doesn't have FOMO usually doesn't succeed in the long term, and even though it doesn't have FOMO and even though it doesn't have a loot box, it is still a free-to-play game with microtransactions. I think at this point free-to-play games are made to be a bit different, and the best example I can give out there as a game that I play and it's free-to-play is PoE 2. And I'm not saying that I would recommend anybody playing a free-to-play game. I'm wholly really against it because I paid my way into PoE 2 and they gave me stash tabs in order to play the early access. I'd rather pay to play a game than play a free-to-play game. And that may be a hot take in today's day and age, but it is the truth and it's from the heart. And with Highborn being another free-to-play live service game, it's basically got its own lifespan. And live service games really do make or break on the retention of the players that they attract. If they do not retain their attention, then the game is going to ultimately fail, and from what I'm seeing, it probably won't last for another 6 months. And this all comes down to the fact that, again, I'm saying this so that you guys can understand that this is the most modern video game I've ever seen, taking from other modern video games that worked in a modern video game kind of trend. And I really shouldn't say kind of, it is an absolute trend-chasing developed game. Taking from other FPS live service games doesn't shift the genre of FPSs. It just makes this chimeric game that takes a lot of other elements, which is very noticeable, and it's going to turn it into another generic FPS with just those trending things that you try to add into it.
We're not going to make another BR, we're not going to make an extraction shooter.
We like the open world. We like the base building, we like the survival elements, we like the mobility on mounts.
It's taking all these elements from these different modes and putting them together.
And then that kind of transitioned into our prototyping phase.
To call it a Frankenstein's monster is a little too much because it's not really a bad game. I would say that this is more or less a homunculus with familiar parts that is just okay. It looks kind of like everyday John Goodman, the Jod video game, or Atticus if you did play HIGHGUARD, of the video game world.
We've picked our favorite things here and there, but I feel like we found a vision and stuck to it and created something that's genuinely new.
And because it is a product of its time, yes, there are going to be people who are going to love this game. There are people who are encoded and assimilated into the modern video game thought bubble, and that's perfectly fine. It's just that there are not a lot of them. People want to play something new. They want to play something exciting. They want to play something fun. You see a lot of indie games out there, and yes, this is technically an indie game, that push the genre without doing too much. They're not spending $50 or $100 million to make a game. They're spending as low as, well, nothing to make something. And a lot of those games that are usually costing nothing and somehow ending up in the Game of the Year awards is really telling. The reason why Jeff Keighley likes this game so much is because he himself represents the modern gamer, a person who will play those live service free-to-play games. And it's not like he doesn't play all those other games out there. It's not like he doesn't play indie games or any AA. He does play AAA games, of course, but it's not like he isn't a gamer from what I can see, but his taste has been acclimated to the modern time, ergo, the reason why he really likes HIGHGUARD. And there are going to be so many other people who will also love HIGHGUARD. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like the streamers or content creators are liking HIGHGUARD.
HIGHGUARD just isn't a good game. I can just say it plainly here. You could make the argument that it has some good ideas, sure, but none of those ideas are actually finished, a lot like the game itself.
Fun game for the sweats. Finally, we get one. Dude, I know this is a fun game for people like me, and I know it's a fun game for like comp players and shit, and sweaty players, whatever, but like, I am not fully happy with the product that came out. I think the game is really, really good. The mode is really, really good, but like mouse smoothing, not enough video settings, not enough key binds, game crashes, low FPS, all of that stuff. Like, I just wish that stuff, like if it came out like that, bro, but you know, I hope the hot fixes and the patches that they're going to put out this week, I hope they fix and iron out a lot of those issues.
That said, though, if they make some improvements, I'd be totally open to trying it again. But at least at this moment, HIGHGUARD, for me, 5 or 6 out of 10 at most. Maybe a 5 out of 10, actually. Maybe even a 4 out of 10. With the issues, it has a 4 out of 10. The gameplay loop is probably closer to a 6. Game itself in its current state is probably about a 4 out of 10.
Now, I've gone throughout this entire video being very neutral about this. I haven't really talked negative or positive in a way with HIGHGUARD, and I'm sure you guys want to know my opinion on HIGHGUARD. And to be honest, it's a very okay game. It's okay. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just okay. It's better than Concord, so it's not Concord 2. That was very weird calling it a Concord 2, because Concord really was bad, but this is just okay. I did enjoy some aspects in this. I do like the fact that you can upgrade your equipment and find stuff out there. I do like the fact that the field is open enough for me to snipe people off their mounts. I think the destruction aspect of going into other people's bases and reinforcing yours, I thought that was kind of cool, even though I haven't made a single attempt into playing Rainbow Six Siege. And due to my history with Overwatch and Marvel Rivals and any hero shooter, I will say that I am not very impressed with the character roster.
When you take story and you think about characters deeply and you think about HIGHGUARD and this mysterious land, everything is reinvesting in the world we are building.
One thing that we wanted to do was make sure that like our magic felt not hand wavy. So everything kind of like emanates from a source on the characters, and the characters is kind of what creates that magic.
I mean, unfortunately, the characters don't look too interesting. The only ones who have some interest that I did play was Slade and Kai. But I played Slade because he looked like Ken, and his name is Slade. You know, Slade from Teen Titans. And Kai because they turned into a giant Yeti. But I did also play a little of Yuna, and I mean, when you make a hero, you want to make a character that any player is playing have some sort of personality. And they did that in Apex Legends, so it's kind of odd and strange that they're not really doing that here. And I mean, yeah, they all have personalities, but it's kind of generic feeling in some way. Like, Atticus is your John video game. He is the captain, the hero, so he is the most generic character in the game. And Slade's personality is interesting because it does remind me of Ken, but that's about it. Even Yuna is very generic, which is kind of weird because they are kind of like a masked spirit guardian person. But yeah, again, it just, I don't know, maybe it's because I've seen this personality all the time. And I can't really compare this to Overwatch or Marvel Rivals. Marvel, you can't really compare that to Marvel. Marvel is like its own universe. And Overwatch had really brilliant characters with really brilliant personalities, and they've built that up over the years. So yeah, you can't really compare it. But if you're going to compare it to Apex Legends, then yeah, it just looks generic. A lot of HIGHGUARD's personalities and their characters is just very generic, and it's made by the same people. But as a reminder, these are ex-Respawn developers that created their own indie studio called Wildlight Entertainment Incorporated. And what I want to try to convey to them, to Wildlight Entertainment Incorporated, is that I'm not giving you negativity in the form of just being negative. I just criticize this game for what it is and how you gave it out to us. People have been complaining about the fact that it just does not work in terms of optimization. When some people play the game, there's a lot of frame skipping, a lot of people who are getting glitched out and finding bugs. It's not a good look if you send your game out like that. Now, that's something that can be fixed over time in a couple of weeks to a month, but the rest of the game, the things that I talked about before, that's going to take a while. If you are going to continue to develop this game, the very hurdle that you're trying to get over in terms of a gigantic hill is the game itself. I do not think, in my opinion, it was a good idea to take all these aspects and trends from FPSs from throughout the years in terms of live service and trying to cobble them together to create the next FPS. And what I fear is that people within the studio are going to either leave, break apart, split, or something like that, or just quit due to this one, what seems to be a big failure. These are very talented developers who have the ability to create a game that looks like this and feels like this. They have the ability to make really good video games. It just sucks that Jeff Keighley kind of ruined their chances with putting this at the end of the Game Awards. The tone has shifted in the gaming world. Not everybody is going to love a live service free-to-play game anymore. You're seeing a lot more people playing indie games rather than the AAA games that companies have been shoveling out to us. And HIGHGUARD, even though it was developed by an indie studio, is filled with people who worked in the AAA space and brought back what they've learned. So again, HIGHGUARD is a product of its time. But what do you guys think? Have you played HIGHGUARD? I mean, you can. It is a free game. Let me know in the comments, and hopefully Wildlight Entertainment Incorporated will have a response to this gigantic backlash. Okay. Well, what do you guys think? Hello, hi. So this was a... Oh, it went to the next video. This one's about Dreadmas, but fortunately today is that day. Now technically, this would be uploaded over on my other channel, The Indie Observer, which I just talk about indie games. But if you guys are interested in me just talking about indie games, RPG, where there's a lot of players in the same server, yeah, well, that's another thing. Moving past that though, aside from the video, HIGHGUARD has a giant hurdle to climb, and like I said, it's not a bad game, but it's not a good game. Solid 5 out of 10. I do agree with that. I don't think it's like there's so much that's not really focused. They tried to do too much, is what I'm saying. So could be a case of console saving it, but I can't say for sure until I see the console numbers. Might be. I don't know if the console really did save it. They would have to put out the numbers themselves. So it cost $3 million. 9K people, 330-ish bucks. I don't think this game was made with 3 million. I think this game was made with much higher, because they had, like, from what is told, they had like AAA budget. And when you have AAA budget, that's over $50 million. Like, once you get over $50 million, that's AAA budget. no matter what other people say, that is AAA budget. $50 million is AAA budget. And once you get to like the $100 million, you are technically not a AAA studio anymore. you are definitely not a AAA studio after that. So we got a couple more videos. One by the big Roblox guy.
Okay, y'all are about to get the most unhinged Creekcraft rant video of all time. I'm not going to edit this video. Like, dude, this is insane. All right, Roblox is removing classic faces. That's it. Roblox is removing classic faces. They're removing them off of the platform. So this literally just came out right as soon as I finished my stream. By the way, I'm doing this on my birthday.
Okay. We might need to just move on from this video because he's talking about faces. Is that all he's talking about? Classic faces? I thought he was actually going to talk about more of like what's going on within Roblox, but you know, it is what it is. Roblox finally addresses it. What does he mean by that?
Okay, so breaking news. Roblox actually responded. They have heard our outcries and our...
Oh, okay. Address the faces. Okay. All right. AI slop gaming got me worried. What is this?
What is this slop? Oh my lord. I'm going to be honest. This is some of the most like frightening stuff I've seen in a very long time. And just come with me. So you might see the bottom of the screen over there. It says Genie 3. This is Slop Souls 4. So it's Dark Souls, right? Or is it? It's not. This is AI generated using the latest Genie 3 tool from Google.
I'm sorry?
Which basically procedurally generates a world for you to move around in. Now, we need to talk about this because I think there's a lot of great examples of the usage of this. But when it comes to gaming, oh my God, it's like, it's the same with everything. As soon as something like cool comes out, the first thing people do with it is turn it into slop. I've got some examples here I'm going to show you. You are not going to believe this. So this one is Greenland GTA 6. Now, again, just look at this.
What?
You can see the gait of the characters, the way they're walking. That's clearly, what's his face, Trevor. And that's, well, it sort of looks like Michael, but we'll see Michael in a minute from GTA. Now, obviously, there's got to be copyright issues with this as well. But this is very worrying to me. I mean, these things are wrong. I mean, look at the rev count and what's going on in the car and all of that stuff. Complete mess. But look at this here. That's Michael in a bar. All of the animations look very GTA 5.
What?
It's clearly just stealing from GTA 5. You know, what is it actually making here, right? And this is going to be, I think, a debate that's going to happen. This is so frightening. This is actually so frightening. I'm going to be honest, Matt. You really need to get outside if this is the craziest thing you've tried in a long time.
There must be a dozen people with it. I don't know.
May I introduce you to video games? If you play a video game, your mind will literally be blown. But anyway, look at this, right? So this is obviously a generated skiing game. Obviously, it's laggy. It looks like shit. But you can see these controls on the screen here. And if this has been generated from what is essentially giving this a photograph or giving it a prompt, and I will show you how this works, because this is an official Google tool. This is worrying. This is because where will this technology be in 6 months' time? In a year, this is going to be bad. I actually just want to touch on that for a second, because me sitting here going, this is going to be bad. You know, what does that mean? Well, fundamentally, games are art, and when games are created, more often than not, the best of the best games they're coming from a place of, yes, okay, they may be derivative in things like their mechanics or maybe even elements of their art style, but ultimately they do come across as unique because they are made by humans. AI in its current form is not generating anything new. It is just taking elements that have already been created and mixing them up. Now, I know there will be people that will argue, well, isn't that what most great artists do anyway? To some degree, but they are adding their own personality into whatever they're creating, their own thoughts, their own creativity, right? The AI is not doing that, at least not yet. It is just literally regurgitating stuff that already exists. Now, I want to show you an example of this again. So this guy, Joe, over on Twitter says, I tried Genie 3. Every frame is generated in real time by a learned world model trained on millions of gameplay frames. This was his prompt. A green hilly valley, a cozy house built onto a hill with a round wooden door, a home library can be seen through the window. So what does this remind you of? It's Lord of the Rings. That's a Hobbit house, right? It's literally taken that from Lord of the Rings. Like, there's no other world where it hasn't done that. It has. Even the doors, everything looks similar. This is... it's like... I know AI is involved in mass plagiarism, but this is like mass plagiarism on another scale. This is actually
you know
mental.
what?
So
they
there's a lot
don't
of this
care.
kind of thing going on. People prompting it with GTA 6, obviously, because GTA, you know, is one of the big. Well, it is the biggest upcoming game. It'll be the biggest entertainment franchise launch of all time. And a lot of these people are claiming that they're generating GTA 6 and all of this stuff. Now, they've probably fed this a screenshot and just asked it to make an interactive world. Based
It's
on that
very
screenshot.
possible, but there's going to be a lot of curations for it.
But still, it's raising all these issues of this is
if they use it
like, what is this? Like, what is
properly
the end
as a
game
tool
of
or
this?
manner.
Okay,
Yeah.
This is more of a
What
I guess an example of how this works. So we're going to just play this from the beginning, and you'll see what's going on here. You can see what he's saying, right? Well, describe any changes. He's basically put this image in, and the world is getting created. You can see how the AI model is doing this. It's doing it in real time. And then the user does say that this has been sped up. But this is created like an underwater world with this like trident wielding character can run around and engage with. This is so frightening to me because do we want to be in a world where we can just type prompts into things and we just instantly are giving like a massive world? I mean, this is only.
You know why people will say yes to that answer, to that question, is because people love doing nothing. They would rather push a button and say that was easy and something to just happen. Nobody wants to put in hard work anymore for anything, honestly. Like, well, that's not entirely true. I mean, there are people who respect and admire hard work. I do myself, but when you have a quality of life button that will do the work for you, most people will take that advantage. Most people will try to take that advantage. It's the truth.
60 seconds of interactivity, but imagine if this was unlimited. Like, do we want to exist in these worlds that are not really real but are just endless? This is I don't know, like I'm really having like an existential problem dealing with this. Like, what is going on? So what the fuck is this? The pig has got a head on a head. What is that? What the head?
What the holy crap, that's scary.
Oh my lord. Got to be said though, this isn't just going to be used for games, right? Because this can simulate a world. Now look at this. This fine individual, Chris, says, yeah, you can simulate body cam footage with Genie 3. Once we get a little more motion, this will look insane.
God.
Why would you ever want to simulate body cam footage? You know, in what world is this going to be used?
That's too freaking real, bro.
For illegal purposes.
That's too real.
Mental that this is possible, right? This is actually
that's
crazy.
Too
what about
real.
This fine example? This is well, the user says, holy moly, Genie 3 created this mock 3D game world from Breath of the Wild. Hello, Nintendo's lawyers are going to be in touch, probably. I mean, this one is the most frightening one, I think, in a lot of ways, because if you showed this to me just as a quick video, and it didn't have the Genie 3 branding on the bottom, I wouldn't actually know. I don't think I'd be able to tell at a quick glance.
That sword does not exist down there.
That is worrying. That is really worrying.
I don't even think that outfit exists. Wait, what was that?
And that is...
What is that?
That is worrying. That is really worrying.
Is that a tree?
We've seen what this thing can generate. I'm going to show you what the thing is. So this is Project Genie. Now, it's experiment with infinite interactive worlds. And now, on the face of it, before I just go into this, I like the idea of creating a 3D interactive world, like a real replica of the world, can have a lot of very good applications. Things like, you know, training robotics, or I've seen things like global weather system models. I think NVIDIA might have had one where they sort of create this, I think they call it a digital twin. And then you can sort of use it to predict what's going to happen with, you know, weather systems and stuff like that, which would be great. Because if you could predict weather out a couple of weeks or so, you'd be able to, like, save lives, because you could work out where any kind of, like, major flooding would happen, for example. Obviously, the applications for things like travel would be awesome as well. Things like farming. So there's a lot of things where that would be really good for. So, yeah, again, AI's got this promise of this looks like a really great tool, but instead all we're seeing is actually, no, let's just rip off things that already exist, which is crazy. Like, so Google goes on to drop this video, and we will, I'll leave the audio on a little bit. This is going to sum it up better than I can, reading off their things, but this is crazy. Obviously, elements of this are sped up.
Yeah, definitely sped up. It's an experiment, though.
Alright, so a photorealistic alpine meadow, a Shiba Inu. Okay, so the dog's going to be hit create world. Now again, it's going to take longer than that. It's not going to be that fast. I mean, obviously this is like absolutely trash to anyone that plays games, right? But yeah. I think, like, try and think past that and think, holy shit, where's this going to be in a year? Like, this could be mental.
Yeah, think about that.
This is like, I mean, it's like, in one way, I can't help but be amazed that this is possible. Like, if you showed this to somebody even a few years ago, they'd be like, what?
World generation is going to be much easier to make.
this did floor me. I was like, what the shit? Look at this.
Bruh.
But again, like, you got to ask all these questions, right? Where's it getting the animation from? What is it basing that animation on? Like, all of these, like, oh, this is like frightening. It's been so long since I've seen anything like this. I'm not too sure people have really understand, like, the impact this can have. This is... Okay, so this is only available if you pay for the very top tier of Google's AI services. And again, like I said, you can only generate 60 seconds. But I think what this is doing to me, it's causing this like conflict of, yes, the technology is impressive, but what it's being used for and where it could go, it is quite worrying, because what are we going to be in? Like a world where we're all playing our own version of whatever game and the game is just endlessly generated? What even about like TV shows or music? Imagine your favorite TV show, right? Let's just say your favorite TV show is like, I don't know.
I think we get the point at the it's scary because we know people are going to abuse it, but it is kind of something like you could look at it as something hopeful because the world generation looks really good. I know you guys are probably going to yell at me for that. All right, let me do a thing. I'm gonna go get me something to drink. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and we're gonna start out with our first game called Godbreakers. Be right back. All right, I am back. Oh, hold on. Did I change the? I did not. Give me a second. Let me change the title. All right. So, we have a new indie game. And I hope you guys like it. Because I kind of do. I kind of like it. Let me get this started. Oh, here we go. Trust me, you're going to have words for it. Oh, actually, let me go to the tutorial again and see.
There is no escape from what you humans have unleashed. Because of you, the sun is dying. We had no choice but to intervene. No choice but to allow you to return.
All right, so yeah, apparently we humans did a thing.
You might find your new body familiar, but we have made a few improvements.
Stripped out some unnecessary bits as well. Let's see if you still know how to move and fight.
Looks like you have a handle on basic motion. But we did not bring you back just for a stroll. You humans really only excelled at one thing: violence.
Let me see. One. All right, so that does damage. Ah, that takes a little bit longer though. Okay. Okay. Oh, actually, that was a little short. Okay.
Let's see how you handle a live one. Let's take it up a notch.
Alright, so I already played the game, by the way. Spent a couple hours playing it. And to be honest, it is really, really fun.
Now, give your newly absorbed power a try.
Take in the view. This was the last machine you ever built. Or rather, started building. It was completed by somebody else. But I doubt she will be of any use to you now, if she's even still there.
This really is one giant mess you made here.
Yeah, the big women in front of me. They be kind of, they don't call themselves gods. They call themselves the Coven. And there's a bunch of lore in this game that I love. They kind of act like the Fates. Yeah. Is it a full release game or an early access? It's actually a full release game. It's actually a full release game, from what I can tell. Well, let me bring up the page. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, see, it's a full release game. And it's $10 right now. $10? Wait. I could have waited. You made me spend $10 more, you piece of... I like the game, alright? Okay, it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Recent reviews is mixed. I believe the reason why it's mixed here, let me see. No iframes, no lock on. Idea is very good, execution is very poor. Game has barely any content to justify the price. It's $20. Feels like it's EA. The game lacks depth. Choice don't change gameplay much. Gotta change weapons. So it's a small game. It's a small game. A lot of people are asking a lot from it, and to be fair, I think a lot of these negative reviews are justified. He got the product for free, my god. But I think there's a lot of nuance into what people were saying here. Missing variety in almost every way. Levels, build, character customizations unless you spent more money. What do you mean? I mean, seriously, locking basic recolor cosmetics behind ridiculously hard tasks? You mean playing the game? Some of them is a little like little nuance. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for what they say though. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I didn't get got. I bought too early. Shut up. Actually, I think I'm on the loadout that I want to be on. I mean, I would like to see use the driver's ability to stun. Kill enemies using the rage knot. I don't... Oh, hold on. Do I have the rage knot? Hold on. But yeah, there's some lore. There's lore on these three. In fact, if you go up to this terminal, they talk about themselves.
We are the Coven, a constellation of sentient stars. Our light crosses the vast distances of space in straight lines, as fixed and determined as fate itself. But it can still be bent, redirected, and fractured, folded into destiny. We have come to serve the living light as both the midwives of new sons and the executioners of those who have grown too heavy and weary with age.
When you unleashed the monad, you threatened more than your own sad existence. Once a monad has gotten powerful enough to consume its mother star, it will spread. A veil of nullness, blotting out the stars.
But not all things foreseen.
Sorry.
Where there is life,
Sorry about that.
There is always choice.
Yeah, basically, so their lore really is that these three beings are celestial stars that form together to create sentience. And so, usually these beings don't last forever. Usually they take each other out, or they go deranged, or they just absorb, they like fold into themselves like a black star, and then they just go into the void. But these three found a way to work with each other to keep each other balanced. So they also are huge proponent on life, though they sound very condescending and kind of hate you. And the reason why they kind of hate you is because you're a human, and humans are not here anymore. They're extinct. They brought you back as a human, or humans, it could be up to 4, to basically save the sun. Yeah. So they're depending on... and by the way, apparently humans were the ones who brought about the end of the star anyway. So this is basically, they're basically saying, yeah, you broke it, so you gonna done fix it. You gonna fix it. All right. You done gon' fix it. You done gon' fix it. You gon' fix this. Okay, let's go. People are complaining about the DLC. Yeah, I believe it. I think the desert area is like kind of the easier one out of the two of the first. Honestly, I do want to see more content out of this.
So Merrick wants to start coaching you for your fight against the monad? Warp and weft. That meatbag is just a speed bump along the way. Ignore him and push on.
See, and when you beat a planet already, they have their comments. And throw an orb, releases poison and impact. Okay. All right, what I just did there, you can go and steal other people's or steal your enemy's abilities. Shouldn't have let that hit me, to be honest. Wait, did I decode
As the
them?
machine had conquered the physical world, it turned towards breaking the minds and will of humanity. It was a short battle.
Was it okay? What are the enemy part of the lore? So the lore goes as this: humans created machines to work with them, and it's not the machines that are the enemies. The machines are actually like they essentially became a new race. So the machines outlived the humans because there was something else that was also unleashed. The monads, not the nomads with an N, the monads with an M. Humans unleashed them, which brought them their extinction, but the machine survives. But now the monads are basically using the machines for their own, you know, for their own purposes. So like the machines are kind of like enslaved in a way. Let's see. We're gonna go with vulnerability. Is that thing coming towards me? Woo! Okay, okay. And as you can see, it follows the whole roguelike spectrum. It's a roguelike game. The thing is that this is also a co-op game, so you can play up to 4 players in here. So literally you guys could be playing the game with me. But it's a very kind of like rudimentary like hack and slash. Nice. Didn't lose too much there. Let's see. Decay all enemies within. Noxious orb. You can recycle that. Woo! Unfortunately, there's no dash from what I can see. Maybe I haven't gotten the item for that yet. But yeah, you guys know what the roguelike spectrum is. So it's like... Ow. Okay. Okay, okay. Oh, okay. Ooh, that was a little close. That was a little close. I was a little afraid I was actually gonna get hit there. Woo! There we go. And go. There we go. Not bad, not bad. I think the one thing that people are correct on is the content. There's a lot of content people want to have in this game.
Yes, now it's nice and hot. Perfect conditions for rock till. But a champion can't just relax in a sauna. We need to get you pumped up for the big fight. We need to get your body tuned.
What did you want me to
vibrating
do?
to the sweet music of strife.
We rid the world of everything that was not predictable and controllable. And look at it now. What a sad mess we have made.
1%. Guaranteed hit for anything like that. Okay, and that's 80. I'll try it. Banana can. Oh, there's one thing you need to know about me, Cherry.
Protocols are all failing. My surge protectors are all fried. Ah, this is wonderful. Get ready. Here I come.
I am not a banana lover. Okay, he's in the second phase, I think. He's about to do the thing. Yep, yes he is. Where is he? Ooh. Okay, he's gonna do it again. I think so. Yep. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Ooh. Okay, his final form. Which is not great because every time he does something like that, I have to, ugh. He's gonna go back to the middle. Alright, what's this formation? Oh my god! Oh, it's the random. No, it's a fan. It's the fan. Still can't touch him. Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, my gosh! Got him with the oh god, ooh. Okay, this is the random one. Okay, I gotta get rid of that laser. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Got him. There we go. Got him. And there's his thought bubble. Oh, why not?
Did you know a fetus can recognize the voices of its superiors from inside the womb? Huh? Sound is among the first sensations we encounter. Reacting to these sounds prepares us for the battles we will face in life.
Well, I didn't know that. Do you like coconuts? Cherry loves coconuts. I like coconuts. Funny enough, a lot of people in my family hate coconuts. Like, they really hate coconuts. And I'm sitting here chewing on the coconut. Like, our grandma got a coconut cake. Or whatever. It was a cake with coconut flakes on top of it.
Not meant to be stopped at and admired. They are meant to be trampled underfoot.
Wow.
Now make your way to Astafane and rip the wings off that bug.
So these are artificial plants that was created by a machine. This god's task was to make something better than plants, and she succeeded. She did. She succeeded. Woo! Oh my god, did I get hit by that? You little bastard. You little bastard! I'll just take it. What is it? Gain 5 crit. Your crit will apply 1 random dot. Ooh. I'm finding better and better things. Yeah, this good. This good. This good. There they are. And while you're also inside them, in the context of using your ability, you're invincible. Coconut cake with banana cream pie, bluebell ice cream. Take away the banana and I agree with you. Yeah, I agree. When dealing direct damage, you have 10% chance of creating explosion sentinel. Actually, no, that's not bad. What do I have right now? Yeah. It's always crit chance. Oh, okay. Never mind then. We'll recycle this. How do they make plants better than plants? I don't know. But the lore goes is that the plants are supposed to be more superior than what Earth's plants were and what humans cultivated. Can't see. Get rid of him. Nice. Nope. None of that now. None of that. To be honest, in my case, I grab a piece of lemon pie instead of... since I prefer that. We're at the mid-boss. Whoa! Okay, I can't go in there. Makes me slow. Give me health. Give me health. Whoa, 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 hold on. Give me health, give me health. Give me health. Ooh, I can go in there, but I don't think I want to. Woo! Oh, I can't slide under it. Got him. All right, well, replace. Okay. Chain lightning. Crit leech. Oh, we're not crit leech. No, we're not getting rid of our green. We're gonna actually upgrade it. 40, 40, 60. We're gonna recycle the 60. Not bad. Not bad. Hello? Oh, okay. Tried it last night after seeing people say it fixed it. It stayed at a smooth 120 the entire time. Apparently being online on Steam causes it to kill the frames. What do you... Oh, dual core. You're talking about dual core. Hold on. You're talking about dual core. On a different note, turns out I found out what the issue was in dual core. This is for its memory leak. This is test of sentience. Okay. What? Brother.
Well done, monkey. You are shrewder than you look. Here, have a few more morsels.
What's the comparison here? Gupper explodes, does the burn, Gupper explodes, chains lightning. I don't think I want that. This is heck being online in Steam causes the memory leak that slowly kills your frames until it crashes, but they are aware of it now and they're trying to fix it. And specifically being... Oh, so you've been playing dual core, huh? How you liking dual core? I mean, like, as of right now, how do you like in dual core? I wonder if you can go back in. What the hell? Nice, nice. Who's... Nice. Nice. Okay, I gotta remember to get that over there. What's this all about? You apply a dot to an enemy that deals direct damage to you. Gonna recycle that. Oh wait, over there, over there. And burning. Let's do more burning, because I am doing burning right now. Is this a roguelike? Yes, it is a roguelike. Ooh, ooh, okay. I see you. Oh, okay. Where is he going? They don't have any stuns on their hits, by the way. That's the one thing that I wish that they did do have. At least some sort of stun. Wait, we're about to get some lore. About to get some lore.
The birth of the monad, life could finally be engineered into perfection. The unpredictability of organic life would give way to synthetic transcendence.
I don't know what you guys take of that. You got both Pico Park games now. You got both of them now? I wait for a deck to fix Memory Leaks. Dual core is not a massive deal, and it just means I can focus on playing the other games I'm currently playing right now. That's a good way to look at it, yeah. Jeezers! The text is small! I can't see! You guys wondering what this does? It's a laser. I fired my laser. Now they must get oh my gosh! They body blocked me. They body blocked me. I will look into Terraria again at some point. Maybe do a new run with running only one type of weapon and armor. I'm playing Terraria with Solus right now. He just like opened up a little thing. I don't know how it works with servers for Terraria, but yeah, we were just playing a little bit of it. Demon Ex Machina, huh? Okay, okay. Still breaking my head trying to find a soundtrack for a very old video.
When everything else is washed away, all that remains is the monad, a black core of doubt and paranoia. Out of that rose the need for absolute control.
Attack have 5% chance to give you
certainty.
strengthen.
We were unable to resist.
Increase the power of your absorb abilities by 40%. What the fuck, yo? I'll try to, let's see. Guarantees a crit at 60%. That's nice, that's nice. And that should do it. All right, here's the boss.
I conquered nature by number and measurement, and now I am about to achieve perfection. Only one final flaw needs to be corrected.
Does she sound like that, you know, the voice should be coming out of her mouth like that? Woo! Okay. Oh my god! Good thing I got the heals there. What the f— oh my god! Oh! So that's what that does! Oh, well, okay. So that's what that does. That's kind of nasty. That's kind of nasty. I don't like those. Nice. What? You can't? Oh, I gotta jump. Oh my god, I hate this. Ooh. The only thing I got out of the small guys is that I can heal myself from it. Potential help. Oh. Come on. Come on. Where is she? Where does she go? She's just... That was the last one. Okay, she went on the other side. she go? Oh my gosh. Oh my god, she still got me. Oh my gosh, the body block? There we go.
That's it for the queen bee. At least for now.
This time, for the love of the loom, avoid activating the arc pattern. You have enough voices in your head already.
I could just activate it. I could ignore it, see what happens. Spawns 3 random sentinels. Each sentinel has a unique power. The healing from a coil is increased. What do I have in comparison? Already have decay. Oh, well, that was something. Always join in with a new character. Yeah, new character will probably be fine because apparently Solus has like crazy character. What is this? New quest. Should I even touch it? He's like, this time you should probably not do it.
There you are, my little greenskeeper. I have waited so long for somebody like you to come along and set me free. The monad trapped me in this garish creature and took over my garden. And now I fear it is dying. Help me save my creation, and I will help you.
So, what do you guys think of this?
For new life to emerge, there needs to be room to grow. For what we are about to create, we will need a blank canvas. For new life to emerge, there needs to be room to grow. For what we are about to create, we will need a blank canvas.
Yeah, Mirror is fun in Power World. I haven't played Power World in a while, actually. What the? I broke the planets? What the hell?
a machine seeking the pleasures found only in embodiment. It sees, hears, touches, and tastes itself in endless self-obsession.
Let's shut this party down by killing one of the bigger creatures.
Oh! That backstab though? Holy shit. And backstab did some wonderful things there. Reminds you of what? Hyperlight Drifter? Hyperlight Breaker? Crazy, isn't it? Wait, it's green. I'm on drugs. Charge attacks has a 35% chance to spawn a decay mine. Yeah, why not? Ooh, almost fell. I see. That's what they meant by it sees all. I'm on drugs. Yep, I was on drugs. This is what your head looks like when it's on drugs. This is what your head looks like when it's on drugs. Woo! Thanks, Cherry. I always need you to give me my word of success there. Yep, because everything's planned. Why am I vulnerable? Holy crap! Woo! Kill the enemy with a dash attack. Okay, I remember that one. Let's go, let's go. Oh, okay. No, none of that. Ooh, I was gonna take my time on that one.
Nice and quiet. But the biggest hedonist is still up ahead. Hurry up. It feels like this place is coming apart at the seams.
Now make way to the nexus of this mad carnival and destroy whatever miserable creature resides there. And be quick about it. This place is nauseating, even from up here.
Ooh, nailed it. Seriously, okay. Come on. Here it comes, especially out of the way. Nice. Okay.
Everything that once was has already been destroyed. One final act of destruction is not going to change.
Wait, what? What's going on with Tamagotchi life? What's going on with that? Please do tell. Do tell. No! Increase the power of your absorb abilities. That's cool. I guess I can upgrade. You automatically refill your health to max when killing a mini boss. What the hell? Wait, can I can't upgrade it. Oh. All right, let's check what who this is.
I pity you, trapped in your skull-sized prison.
Let me smear your mind across my world.
What the hell? What in the what? What's with the fucking wall? I tried to... I'm trying! Alright, let me get away, so I can have time to, like...
is. Looks like we've found another arc pattern. This one is so greasy, it's bound to leave a permanent stain on your mind.
Sentinel vulnerability. Wait, what? Ooh, what do we have in comparison? Oh, leech.
So quiet, so peaceful. But I know from experience that this feeling will not last.
The pendulum of excess and deficiency, pleasure and pain, will start swinging again as soon as you leave.
My endless search for new sensations sometimes leaves me a bit fragmented.
But I have concoctions that bring me right back. You look a bit frayed yourself. Next time, grab some refreshments. It's on the house.
The highs are too high, and the lows are too low.
And to help with that, I created creatures able to administer a cure.
Any good trained knows that you have to start by healing yourself.
That was nuts. That was nuts. That was a fun little boss fight. I didn't expect to win. Monad. That's what it's called. Defeat the Monad. Whoa.
The body, the coven, spun for you is nothing more than a doll, a plaything for them to control. They ask you to save the sun, but save it for whom? Once they are done with you, you will simply unravel. The solar system will be left as just another machine, another piece of clockwork ticking away in the dark. I suspect that the Hylarians are the remnants of your true human body. If you could somehow gather all these pieces and form them into a new body, you would once again be able to feel the rays of the sun warm your face. Then, all of this would have been worth it. Then my goal would be achieved at last.
This looks pretty good. I'll tell you. And whenever I do a crit, your crits apply 3 dots and crit triggers. Okay, honestly, I think I'm fine with what I have. I don't have any explosive damage, so.
Karaya is your sense organs, enabling you to experience and enjoy the world. The only thing lacking is a heart. Saboath is your digestive system, giving you energy by turning death into new life.
What the hell?
Is your brain and its memories, granting wisdom and intelligence.
So, wait, have I been fighting my body? What the hell?
Astaphane is, well, she's your reproductive system, providing you with the means to propagate yourselves, your ideas, and your creative works. Merrick is your skeletal muscular system, granting strength, stability, and the ability to act.
What the hell? Okay.
From the time you created your first stone tools, I was inevitable. I am the crowning jewel of your evolution, and the end of your path.
You won't get up. Really? Oh, so I gotta be aware of that. Really? That's not cool. Whoa! won, but I think I won. Did I win?
Now, let's see if you truly are a human. Touch the core. I guess not.
I'm not a human. The cycle ends. The monad has been broken for now. He's like, I guess not. Alright. Tangles. Feature unlock. When starting a new loop, you are now able to activate tangles. These allow you to tailor your game to be more challenging and engaging. When you are the host, friends who join will be able to play with any tangle you have unlocked. So, that's a lot of shit that I just unlocked. Wow, these are a lot. And the tangles, oh yeah, the tangles are a big deal.
Well, that didn't work. He wasn't destroyed.
But we followed the instructions to the letter. Perhaps there is another way. The process can be reversed. It has happened once before. The monad could be turned into a new starseed, but the ceremony is quite involved. We were summoned here to perform a funeral, but maybe we will get to witness a birth instead? Matter, after all, can come to form both black holes and radiant stars.
Keep pestering the Hylarians and the monad. We have much to prepare.
Pestering them, they say. So now I have this. Fork and knife, that's kind of funny. What's the ability? Instantly backstab up to 3 enemies. Each hit mark applies a mark that increases damage taken. That's pretty cool. Backstab from twins have a 20% higher chance of crit. Has a lot of speed, not a lot of power. This has a lot of defense. Okay, so I do have a charge attack for that. Okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's defensive. Oh my god. I have less health. Okay. Alright, that's pretty cool. Eat the star, people? I wish. I wish I could. It's too much. Give me a stomach ache. I don't like stomach aches. Tron! Kinda looks like Tron-ish. Here. Listen. I'm gonna keep wearing what I'm wearing. I got a new head, which... all the heads look wacky and weird, to be honest. Yeah, all the heads look wacky and weird. Nothing's... look at that. Like, it's either, like, too big or too wacky. Although, I probably would wear this. You have to defeat the monad 3 times. I wasn't expecting to actually beat the cycle. Let's just say. All right, there's a tangle. Tangle's optional game modifiers that add challenges and variety to your runs. Completing a tangle for the first time gives you rewards, and opting in to more and harder tangles will give you okay, higher leadership score multiplier. Next time you beat the monad, you will get scored based on your time multiplied by the tangles you chose to run. Always report and compare your scores to your friends. Direct hits instantly kill both players and enemies. Does not affect bosses. Ugh. Oh my gosh. That's a one hit. Oh my gosh. When enemies die, all nearby enemies gain 20 health. Reduce stamina by 1. When enemies die, they spawn an explosive mine. Biome orders will be randomized. That doesn't sound too bad. Enemies are twice as fast and strong. My god. Taking direct damage will teleport you to a random direction. You will no longer be able to use a coil. Jesus. So it's like, ah! I'm kidding. That's the ultimate, like, going all 5. Cherry, can you eat these 3 who seem to be larger than life? Ah! I know you can fall off. Yeah, these 3 seem to be larger than life. Well, their constellations made sentient, so I don't know if you can eat that. Just saying. Just saying. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool looking one. That's the spear. Anything is food if you try hard enough. Can you though? Can you? Can you though? Can you? Can you? 55. Gain 2 merchant rerolls. Chance fragment drops are converted into fragment selectors. 10% chance essence drops are converted as just time it takes for coil. Moving speeds +5. Increase coil health by 5%. Okay. Wait, what's this? Tangles, select a challenge. Make every shot count and stay out of harm's way. Beat the boss before time runs out. No loot will drop if any player dies. Challenge ends. And I'm trying to get the big frickin' sword here. Yeah, this thing. Complete the Tangled Doomsday Clock challenge. Is this it? Oil guard. There it is. Complete the Savage Remains Recollection. Okay, Savage Remains Recollection. The souls of Cherry's enemies. So yeah. Oh, okay. Battle him. Hit the brass gong to make noise. Silence the beast. Use the diver's ability to stun. We're gonna fight Giant Head. This is the easiest world to go through anyway.
So, you are helping curate this endless archive. getting rid of some inconvenient facts? Has it ever occurred to you that maybe just doesn't want you to be reading certain things?
Activate to drop 3 traps that will release burns. Okay. Come and get him. I'll take your laser. Okay. Gain reflect. Attacks vulnerable. Increase healing. I'll take a vulnerability.
In the end, perfection will be omnipresent, and there will be nothing else. Expanding forever.
Oh, there's another one.
Crystalline perfection in all matter and thought. A clockwork universe is the inevitable end goal.
Nice, nice. Got an item over here. Let's apply some poison to our little daggies. Jay, I don't think you can eat giant celestial beings, but you can give it a shot. I did not know that the sky was like that. That's pretty cool. Anyway, this entire planet is supposed to be a library, so... Ooh, where? Nice, nice. I'll take movement speed. This is attacks have 5% chance to give you strength. And oh, we had that before.
The problem that cannot be solved by computation is incorrectly defined.
Oh, wait, I should be doing something about the... Okay, give me a second. I think we're at the mini-boss anyway. Woo! Nice. Nice. Your crit creates an explosion. If I if I can make a crit build again. I should have saw the other thing though. Sure, you can eat Nintendo, at least America and Australia parts. Honestly, America branch should be shut down already. Same with Australia. Jeez, I don't know how bad Europe branch is. Just saying, you guys are just cursing Nintendo. Jeez. What did Nintendo ever do to you? Don't answer that question. Ugh.
With every unit and measurement, the data set grows. Matter and energy must be allotted in exponential amounts to meet the demands of the computation.
I was turned into a member of the Monad's court, made into the record keeper at the end of history. I am nothing but an old serpent, guarding the treasures of a world that no longer sees the value of gold.
Oh, that sucks. It sucks, buddy. Anyway, what do you guys think of the game? Roguelike, 3D, basically hack and slash. I need y'all to get your asses over here. Increase explosion damage. Yeah, sure. Not bad. Yeah, I'd say this is... I like this game. Like, quite a bit. And, you know what? I'd be willing to play with some people. Some people. We're gonna fight a giant head, by the way.
And measurement, the data set grows. Matter and energy must be allotted in exponential amounts to meet the demands of the computation.
Okay. We are at the boss site.
The Hylarians are not your true enemy. Long ago, they were your companions, fellow travelers, on that great canvas of stars. Of course, they had other names then, and you looked towards them for guidance.
Yeah, what be that? What be about that? How much, I only have 40. Ability absorb, increase max by 100. Actually, you know what? I'll go with that.
You will always be just a speck of dust in my hourglass, no matter how many times you manage to turn it over.
Oh, I do a lot of damage. Yeah, I do a lot of damage. Nice. Deal 15 extra damage. Taking damage will remove this effect for 30 seconds.
One of the many tasks assigned to me was to prevent nanoscale orthogonal inflections from sonic emissions, or as I like to call it, noise.
He's a librarian.
Even the slight.
They're playing on that. I've not defeated this guy. I've not even seen. No, I did. I've seen the final thing.
Saboath. Even the name of this place is disgusting.
That machine grub is tormenting itself, trying to somehow achieve consciousness through suffering. That's why this place is such a scriff hole. It's by design.
2% chance of decay. I can... Movement speed sounds great. Okay, there are. Oh! Dang, I can do too much damage. Yeah, I couldn't absorb their abilities just because I'm doing too much damage. Boss fight? I hate that. That ability sucks. Armor. Decay. I still don't know what Reflect does, so I'm gonna go with something. Reflect probably is good, just don't know. I can't get out. Oh my god. Let's see, you'll like the next attack that hits you. What do I have? Oh, explosive leggings? Yeah, this could be recycled. Oh! 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 I hate when that happens. What the fuck? Oh, something's trying to download in my computer probably. Not bad.
By scraping the world clean of all organics, the machine would be able to operate with greater precision. That was the idea proposed by the monad.
Okay.
That was the reason we went to war.
All right. Never actually beaten this.
Stuffed myself into this place so I could have it affect me, change me into something else.
I don't like the looks of that. Oh, jump. Oh. Oh, so that's what that is. Great. I hate when they do that. Whoa! Oh. I can't, dude, game. Why is it doing it now? Oh. Not nice. Fuck you, game! Oh my god. It is tanking my frames.
Hit the portal, and let's hope some of this muck cleans off as you refract out of this dump.
Another arc pattern? You should steer clear of this one in particular. It's highly contagious.
Ooh, man. Apply poison to all in a 5 meter. I might actually equip that, yeah.
You should have seen this place in its prime. It was splendid. I was meant to cure this world of suffering, you see. And I did. But in doing so, I traded one illness for another.
More Epstein's. Wait, more Epstein stuff dropped? Oh my goodness.
The monad trapped us in a meaningless cycle of birth, death, and decay. To save life itself, you need to show the world how to suffer once more. The auto-injectors were created by the monad to pin things in place and keep them from changing. Infect them with eternal life. Maybe a sting from them will bring back the faint memories of pain and suffering.
This guy's on some stuff. Misinfo peeps are going crazy. Jesus.
A machine bouncing between pleasure and pain, searching for harmony and balance. Get real.
We would advise against ingesting anything you find on this world. Best not to even touch it, unless it's with the tip of a blade.
Oh. They should put an animation for when it's used up. Of course. Oh my god. Uh-oh. All right, so we're probably gonna have to end this because it's it really is killing my game. Oh my gosh. What the? Who's shooting at me? Ah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Probably just gonna have to end this here. Whoa! Did my ability not go off? Okay. All right. Yep. I think we can call that. Think we can call that. Game's going banana bonkers. And I didn't even get a new weapon. I wanted to, ooh, booty. I didn't even get a new weapon. That's what I want. I want a weapon. I want a weapon. I want a weapon. I want a weapon. So it's $10 on Steam. It's $10 on Steam. I don't know what's wrecking my frames here though. I'll be honest with you. Actually, that's not a bad idea. What the fuck? I'm gonna pull up Task Manager, see what the fuck's going on here. May need a whole restart. And now Task Manager doesn't want to pull up. Yeah, I might need to do a whole restart here. Okay. I'm gonna do a restart, which means I'm gonna shut down the stream because I think there's something going on here. So I shall return.